This is how empaths become attracted to narcissists. It's usually from the wounded child abuse that they suffered. These people that are attracted to narcissists are struggling with what's called carried shame. This happens when a parent, usually by yelling at that 3 or 5-year-old rolling around who's lost containment, usually yells at them and dumps their own self-loathing into the child. All right? Now, the empath isn't aware of this because they're in that precognition stage. And so they're an adult going, no, Kenny, I have a gift. This isn't about trauma. Well, I don't want to deny that you have a gift, but your gift is working against you, not for you. It's destroying you. And so to me, that's something I personally would look at and maybe go, instead of trying to get the world to change, I need to look at healing within myself. At the denial, the lack of reality in our society, everything goes back to childhood. If you want any level of recovery, if you want to grow out of codependence, if you want to create a healthy, loving relationship with yourself so that you can create a relationship with others, until you accept that fact and that truth, you are completely detached from reality and spirituality. You're not even honoring your mother and father is about truth. It's being able to sit with your mother and father and go, wow, here are my memories about this. This was hurtful. And for them to go, I don't remember it that way. But if you're hurt, man, my heart breaks. The first thing to recognize is we all make mistakes as parents. We all adore our kids, but let's face it, we're human. We're perfectly imperfect. We are all going to damage our children. That is incontrovertible. Unless you're God, which I haven't heard on the news that there's a God on this planet who's perfect, we all leave wounds and scars in our child and our children. And we have to accept that as fact. We have to quit running from that. And so because of that, it's imperative that we take ownership of that, because that's a primary role of parenting. I say this all the time. If we're not making amends 1 to 3 times a day, we're not even present as a parent, and how we're being perfectly imperfect and yelling at the wrong time, giving advice at the wrong time, bossing them around, belittling them, shaming them, all the different things we do, not because we're bad people. Now, the 5 core symptoms of codependence are a lack of self-love, a lack of boundaries or inability to set boundaries. They're out of touch with reality. They lack in the ability to self-care, and they lack maturity and moderation. All of us, at all times, no matter what's going on, we are always doing the best we could in that moment. We are the best of every aspect of ourselves. If we could do any different, we would have done different. And this will trip people up because they'll say, but I knew what to do. I knew I was making the wrong choice. Well, what that shows is you were, in fact, doing the best you could. To keep attachment with your parents, you created mantras to justify your parents' perfectly imperfect treatment of you. You need to identify what those mantras are. You also need to identify that in that moment, you felt the shame. And tied to that was mantras. That's where you developed a mantra to suppress yourself. Like mine, I've talked about this before, was, oh, what's the point?